season with a second of two on a Monday night between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And we are underway in Southern California. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. His first carry, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run with Hines. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll run for it with Hines. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But in this stage, at that part of the field, but like you said, it worked. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Lefty, lefty. Check curls. Mike 9.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will be stopped at the 4. That one good for 7 yards.
And it's 3rd down.
It's going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz eluding the pressure right. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And the Chargers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Herbert, quick pass out wide. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, oh, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Charger drive about to get going. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch
the whip. Check 52. Say, hey, smash Bronco.
Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Go trap. Hot, hot. Slam, slam, slam.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
There we go. 37's the Mike. Mike 37.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And here's Hoffrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go. Hey, check. Mike 21. Mike 21. Check.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Escaping the pressure right. That ball caught by Campbell. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go, Pac-Man. Waiting! Hey, watch the slant! Watch the slant!
From the red zone now, Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Here's 2nd and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor taking it in from the 20. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 14-0.
14. Chargers, nothing.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because
the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for the sack. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, We step aside. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, Wentz. Throw left side complete. That's Campbell. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Here we go. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Mike 9, Mike.
Now a play fake. Wentz. They'll roll him out right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. 61 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Hey, pick your game up. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Pick it up.
Into the red zone. Wentz. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10. Running left, Taylor. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll look to run with Taylor, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Colts are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Herbert off of play action. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Herbert. Going deep downfield for Ross. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big gain that time for the Chargers. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Herbert throwing again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The three straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. They snap it to Herbert. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Herbert back to the air. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Flush to his right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Trey McKinney in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Herbert. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
To the air again, Herbert. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Cowboy 80.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Going deep downfield for Ross. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. John Ross, 27 yards. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Sly on for the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Now left side on the swing pass. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Here we go. 180. I'm here all day. Bang, bang, bang. Great 15. Great 15.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 127 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Here we go. Pac-Man. 280. Sunday, Sunday. Watch safety creep.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Play action. Now Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
He's going to make everything happen.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. Will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick six hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Hey, check, Mike 21.
Throwing is Wentz. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Check, Mike 21, Mike 21. Check, Mike 21.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Hey, they made no bones about it. They wanted to throw this rookie right into the fire, see what he could do. He shows what he can do there.
And you have to really put the time and effort in, because playing a receiver in the NFL is a difficult task. And for a rookie, all that you have to learn to get on the same page with your quarterback, that's excellent coaching. And how about how he's picked things up?
Picking things up in a big way with a big play in his NFL debut. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 27 yards. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
That will tie the game. 28-all. Rodrigo Blankenship picking up 40.
So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Darius Leonard in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Coming to you, coming to you. Buffalo 18. 48. Watch the slant. 48, 48, come on.
Throwing on second and long. Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that could be used against them.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Go.
Now Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Wentz to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Campbell. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. They'll run here with Taylor, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it'll be Taylor. 137 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Try and run, Taylor. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time.
It got his man complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them. An absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Wentz. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Back to throw, Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off near his own 48. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
So this one's over. It's